RH D-Mac, if I had to choose between avoiding the wild card series but with an unhealthy roster or having to play through the wild card series with a healthy roster, I would choose the latter. So that's interesting to me because I've said on this show all season long that I think the Dodgers have sacrificed anywhere from 10 to 15 wins because they've been extremely cautious anytime a player has been injured. And the latest on Will Smith with the bone bruise is that this is not going to be something that is going to be at 100%. So what will they do? Well, Dalton Rushing, he can be activated today off the IL, so you expect him to be back, and he's another bench bat that's a possibility as well. But who knows? We could see Will Smith later than usual now if they're comfortable with this division lead, knowing that it's unlikely they're going to catch the Phillies. But if they had won last night and you sweep the series and you're close to getting that 2 seed, maybe you bring back Will Smith a little sooner. You do like what you saw from Ben Rortvedt. You got Chucky Robinson yesterday. I mean, I'm ready to see Dalton Rushing back in the lineup, but do love me some Ben Rortvedt. We talked about it yesterday, the possibility of Ben Rortvedt making the postseason roster, especially early, because you have Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher, so you can still have 13 pitchers plus him, or you can have 12 pitchers plus him, have Ben Rortvedt, great pitch framer, can use him on defense, and then you also have Dalton Rushing off the bench. I think the perfect scenario is Will Smith just 100% healthy, and we saw last year he went the entire postseason, and he was big. But, yeah, Will Smith, he's got a great arm, throws guys out, elite hitting catcher, but what Ben Rortvedt does elite is he's great at framing. We've got the baseball had so many dynasties until the mid 2000s as baseball. I mean, but you look at the Braves; they won one title, right? I mean, you had the Yankees, you had the Giants winning in even years. I mean, you got the Royals had a year in there. I mean, the Astros. I mean, but the truth is, if you look at the history of the NBA and you add up all the series, I mean, it's Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Bulls, Spurs, Heat. I mean, there's so many dynasties in there. Cavs, Warriors. I mean, the basketball is a dynasty sport. I mean, if we're being completely honest here. D-Mac, we won the World Series on the road. We can win it in any city. Let's go, Dodgers. I love that comment, Martin Troop. I really do. Michael McCaffrey, this is turning into a year I'd like to forget. Look, I think that before we just slam the 2025 Dodgers, let's all recognize just that it's so hard to repeat in baseball, and that it just goes to show a lot of teams don't even get this close. So I still believe in this group. I think they're saving their best for last. And there's just been a lot of attrition that this team's had to overcome, whether it be injuries, whether it be slumps, whether it be the bullpen. So let's talk about the bullpen. Dave was asked yesterday about the state of the bullpen and which arms that he's going to go with when the postseason arrives and how fluid that situation is.
Still kind of going. I think it's very fluid. I think it also, I think that the goal is to get the 13 best pitchers, yes. But I think that a little bit of the fluidity is the potential opponent, how guys are throwing in that particular, the recent part of it. So, I think it's fair to say you want your best 13.
So, best 13, he said that in the past, but is anyone else a little concerned about Blake Trinan? I mean, last year, a 1.93 ERA. This year, it's up to 3.68. The FIP is at 4.15. The expected FIP is at 4.12. Strikeout numbers are up, but so are the walks. He's at a walk percentage that is at 12.9%. That's up from 6% last season. Strikeout rate up a little bit, 30.7%. But with Blake, I think that he's someone that is capable of flipping the switch when the postseason rolls around, which is coming in the next couple of weeks here. But Blake Trinan has lost the last 3 of the 4 losses. He's been a guy that has not got it done in 3 of the last 4 Dodgers losses. He couldn't get it done in the no-hitter with Yamamoto. He couldn't get it done when the Giants had the walk-off grand slam, and we know that what led to that with Tanner Scott. And, of course, yesterday he's on the mound. You had the Manfred man. And the issue with Trinan is, hey, if you're striking guys out, then sure, by all means, don't worry about looking at the runner. But with Blake Trinan on the mound, you might as well put the Manfred man on third and not even put him on second if he's not going to at least look over there. I mean, the least you can do is look over there, but it's a combination of things. It's not paying attention to the runner, and then it's also a slow delivery to the plate. So Blake Trinan, I mean, he's a guy they brought back to be nails in these situations, and then considering the fact that you lost Evan Phillips this season, his role increased even more. And then with the years that Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott have had, I mean, you need Blake Trinan to be better because he just has not in these situations. And he's kind of becoming a guy where it's almost like Kenley Jansen towards his later stages with the Dodgers, where Kenley would look really good sometimes, nasty cutter, soft contact, and other times you'd see walks, you would see hard contact. So, yeah, they definitely need him to step up because he has not been good. Period, point blank. Blake Trinan has not pitched well for the Dodgers, and he's supposed to be a strength, and right now he's looking like a weakness for LA. Last year he was fantastic. He's a Dodgers legend for what he did for this team, not just in 2024, but also in 2020. If you remember, he was big after Kenley got demoted, and they used Blake Trinan there in Game 5 to close things out, but they need more from him. They need more from him. And then there is Brock Stewart. So Brock Stewart, I think, is one of the big X factors for the Dodgers down the stretch. He's the guy that they traded for. I mean, yesterday we saw Johan Duran on the mound, who the Phillies gave up top prospects for, only to give up a game-tying home run to Andy Pajes. So you just never know with relievers. Well, Brock Stewart's supposed to be a guy that they can get out right-handed hitters and do for this team what they hoped that Evan Phillips was going to do before he left the season for Tommy John surgery. Well, good news is Brock Stewart is close to returning. Here was Dave Roberts with the latest on Brock.
If Brock comes back healthy and right, he's going to go on Tuesday, so he'll go tomorrow night, he'll go Thursday, and then, if all goes well, then, we have a conversation over the weekend. But if all goes well, with his ability to, pitch well and manage right, it could be very helpful. Yeah, we need it. We need it. I mean, I think that it's you can look at, our pen and, how guys have fared against right-hand hitting, and we've got a good sample. So, with his track record, and the recency, and we just got to make sure he's healthy. And if he's right, then it could be very,
So there you go, Brock Stewart. Now, he did already make that first appearance, and he did toss a scoreless inning. He gave a walk, a double, and a stolen base. Hit 96.5 miles per hour on the heater. 8 of his 19 pitches were strikes. So we'll see what he can provide, because you look at this bullpen. I think that down the stretch, you really have to find who's pitching well right now. Forget about what they did leading up to now. Who has it right now? Yesterday, Alex Vesia, on that home run that he gave up to Bryce Harper late in this one, well, Alex Vesia, he's had some ups and downs lately, and he's someone that certainly is going to be expected to play a big role for this team down the stretch. But, man, if this team were to be able to get a nice division lead, or the Padres lose a ton of games and you can find a way to just not use him as much, it might be a good time to just give him some rest when you can, because last night, Alex Vesia, the fastball was down a little bit on the velocity, especially on that pitch to Bryce Harper. So he's someone that you want to see definitely feel good this time of year. Another name I want to mention is a guy that has been sneaky putting in work down Arizona, down in OKC, down trying to work his way back, and that is Kyle Hurt. Would you thrust Kyle Hurt into this situation? Who knows? But he has looked pretty darn good. because he has had 4 rehab outings with Oklahoma City. And in those outings, he's given up 1 run on 8 hits with 9 strikeouts. He's posted a 135 ERA in 6 2/3 innings. The heater was up to 98 in his last appearance. He's been hovering around 96, but that changeup has been lethal. He's got a 50% whiff rate on that changeup, and he's throwing a ton of strikes. So that to me is the interesting one if you're looking for upside plays. I mean, he did look as great today. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, had a couple walks. Fastball, though, close to 98. So it'll be interesting to see if they even consider someone like him. But the bullpen is going to be the number one thing moving forward. Like the biggest thing the Dodgers still have to figure out is who do they trust in those roles down the stretch. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but Tanner Scott has looked good in his last 2 appearances. He was really unlucky on Friday. I'm going to the stadium right after this to talk to him, hopefully, about pitch tipping and things like that and what he's kind of looked at the last couple of days. So curious to see what he has to say about that. But we're going to do a post-game show from Dodger Stadium tonight, so be on the lookout. You guys want to see my man Pedro Pascal Duarte? He'll be back in the mix for sure. But now it's your time to shine, guys. The 7th inning stretch. Have those thoughts, comments, and questions.